Lindsay here, and this is my review for Upgrade. Cool cars, literal handguns, and Verhoeven-esque futurism. I'm in.
I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Like a lot of other people, I was really excited after I saw the first trailer for this movie. The first trailer was the only trailer that I saw because they gave away enough in that one that I didn't want any more spoiled for me. The basic storyline is a guy and his wife are attacked and she's killed and he's paralyzed. And he's given the opportunity to have this biological implant to reconnect his spine, and it ends up giving him a lot of other abilities that he uses throughout the film to hunt down his wife's killer. That's the basic setup. I'm gonna start with everything that I liked about this movie, which was almost everything. I liked the style, I liked the way it was shot, I liked the acting, I liked the design of this future society. It really reminded me of a lot of science fiction films in the late 70s and early 80s, where there's all this future tech and some sleek stuff architecturally and design-wise, as far as like homes and buildings and vehicles and stuff like that. But then there's also stuff that's still there that's kind of junky and worn down and kind of crumbling and falling apart. Like you have the police station has all these nice computers and monitors, but it's still in this old cement building with very little lighting, and you can see it's kind of falling apart and a little junky. And there's homeless camps in different spots. And one of my favorite parts of the movie is when they go to the bar, which is very run down, very hole in the wall, very nefarious. Not something that you would typically see in a very futuristic film. I like that the basis of this story is a revenge film, but there's also some mystery behind it, and there's a little bit of a twist at the end, nothing too crazy or out of left field, but it kind of threw you a red herring now and then to throw you off track so that you didn't necessarily see it coming. But like I said, it wasn't a big shocker, but it was a little bit of a subversion so that it was more than just a run-of-the-mill revenge story. Another thing that I liked was like when he goes to find the hacker. It's in this really run-down, shitty apartment complex, and when the hacker takes him inside the room, there's these people that are hooked up to virtual reality helmets, and they're hooked up to IVs because they've been in there for weeks and months at a time. So they're being kept alive by IV while they're in this VR environment because the real world sucks so bad that they want to escape it into this virtual reality world. You've got the character development of the main guy, Gray, who is played by Logan Marshall Green. And at the beginning of the film, his character is very much anti-technology. He doesn't mess around with the bio implants that a lot of people are getting, and he kind of pokes fun at his wife's futuristic car, because what he does for a living is he fixes up really old cars, conventional cars, gas-powered vehicles, and sells them off to rich people. And his kind of life outlook is that a machine can't do something better than a human can. That he likes to work with his hands, and that he doesn't want things done for him by machines. He wants to get his own hands dirty and do it himself. And throughout the course of the film, he more and more relies on this implant called STEM for his movements, to find him information, to get him from A to B, to to solve all his problems, to get revenge for his wife's murder. And by the end, he is completely taken out of the equation, and a computer is completely controlling every aspect of his mind and body. So his character is completely transformed by the end of the film. Another thing I liked is that the guy who created STEM and is the owner of this giant company who has hired Gray to rebuild this older car for him isn't like the typical nerdy genius guy. He's this young kid, this prodigy who's very socially awkward and isolates himself from society. And I thought that was a really cool way to write that character. The action scenes were done very well. I really liked the way that they were shot. When STEM takes over Gray's body, he moves like a cyborg, but it's also very almost marionette-like, because that is pretty much what his body has become, is a puppet for this STEM system. And the camera work reflects his body movements very well. And it's very engaging, and it really sucks you into the action. Now to get onto the stuff that I didn't like, which isn't very much. It really wasn't something that I didn't like about the film, it was just questions that I had about the world that the film was set in. And they talk a lot about humans having computer implants and like biomechanical upgrades. And I wish they would have gone into a little bit more about why people were doing this. And like, I think they were trying to hit on some kind of social commentary with that, but it wasn't quite concrete enough to come through, at least to me. And so I wish they kind of would have gone a little bit more in detail about why that society was the way it was. And while yes, I can understand people wanting to have machines help them in their homes and their jobs and in their daily life, why are people having all these implants put inside them? They were just questions that I had that I would have liked to answer. It didn't ruin the movie for me or take me out of the film. It was just, it left me wanting to know more about the world that this story happened in. And one thing, I'm still not sure if I thought it was really cool or just a little bit too far out there in the bar scene where the one bad guy, the main bad guy, is confronting the bartender about why he didn't help his friend. He sneezes and these microscopic machines, like almost like a nanotechnology type of thing, come out in his sneeze and go up the bartender's nose and I guess like scramble his brains and kill him. At first I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, I'm still not sure if that was really cool or if that was pushing the what the fuck factor way too far. It was a cool scene though. I think everything in the bar, that happened in the bar, was some of my favorite stuff. I liked all the people in the bar with all the body modification going on and everything. I thought that was really cool. But overall, yeah, I really liked this film. A lot of people were complaining that the first trailer kind of gave away too much, and really it did, but it didn't. There's so much more in this film that's really cool and fun and engaging and exciting and tense. And so yeah, you should go see it. It's really good. Highly recommend it. It's a solid sci-fi action flick. This is Lindsay signing off. I'll check you later.